recently I've been talking quite a lot about my upcoming book projects that I'm working on. And I thought, to be honest, I better get a cover done because it adds motivation. Sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself, especially when you've been at it for years. Every year I've committed to doing a book, and it eventually exhausts you. I mean, 6 years. This is now the seventh year of just keep doing pushing myself to do a book every year. It does get a bit much. So I'm having a bit of a motivation crisis, I guess, at the moment. I have to just get this thing edited and then it's done. So I thought to myself, why not just get the cover design done, and then that will add the motivation because already, you've got the concept for the cover of the book, so you can only imagine what that's going to be when it's finally produced. So it has, it's going to make me far more motivated to get this finished. Like I've been saying so much, I've just got to edit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share a few parts of passages. I'm not going to give huge swaths of the book away, but just a little bit of an idea, really. Because I've already got Losing Mind to Find Your Soul as my spiritual book. This is a follow-up spiritual book. And it's just going a little bit deeper in areas, I think, personally. That's how I see it. And maybe I'm touching on topics that I didn't touch quite so deep last time around. But I still feel it's important people read the first book, like Losing Mind to Find Your Soul. It's the beginning stages of a spiritual awakening. And so that's a great starting point for people who are curious. This is a bit more, I guess, nuanced, but in a similar vein. So yeah, I'm going to try not to give away too much. I don't want to sort of like read large swaths, so it's hard to know where to start. So yeah, I'll do a couple of bits, and then there's one part I might talk about after. I haven't planned how much I'm going to read at all, so I've got to try and know where to stop. Recognizing number patterns and repeated numbers in our daily lives becomes the beginning stages of a spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening. Many people did dismiss the signs, not giving them a moment's thought. If only they took a moment to consider the odds of it happening and what it could mean, they'd begin to unravel an understanding that their spirit guides are reaching out to connect with them. After a while, trying to ignore the signs won't be enough if spirit is determined to get through. The numbers eventually spark curiosity. At least that's how I began my journey, which I swiftly documented in Losing Your Mind to Find Your Soul, and a few years later, this book. Aside from number patterns, most people begin their spiritual journey without acknowledging that they believe, and that's through their star signs. Zodiacs play a part in many cultures. Almost everyone knows their zodiac, and many recite their personality traits attached to their specific sign. So whilst they perhaps don't recognize spirituality or a belief in anything, they subconsciously do because their star signs play a part throughout their lives. As an Aquarius, well, my sun is an Aquarius, which is the main trait, but going deeper, we have other aspects to our birth chart. The further we delve, the more we uncover about ourselves. But most consider the sun aspect their zodiac. My curiosity and star signs piqued my interest in life beyond the ordinary. How could a zodiac be accurate? Not just for me, but for most people. If there wasn't anything beyond birth and death, how could the timing of our birth have a direct correlation to an intricate chart which has existed for hundreds, if not thousands of years? These questions can lead many of us on a quest for answers. I've previously documented my spiritual activation, but I'll explain briefly again. Suddenly, I sought to unravel the mystery. So I checked my daily, weekly, and monthly horoscope, which referenced someone coming into my life to help me understand our connection to the universe. That alone was quite amazing, considering I was thinking of something similar in discovering the truth. A week later, out of nowhere, someone sent me a private message on social media with in-depth information about zodiacs and our connection to the universe. They suggested that I watch Matt Kahn, which I did, and he was great. It was through him that I began to understand soul contracts. Of course, I then had my own experiences and everything made sense. So, not only is it a miracle that everyone has a star sign assigned to us from birth, which gets more intricate if anyone decides to delve deeper into understanding it, but also those zodiacs go beyond personality traits into timelines of events, which for me came true perfectly. Even the term miracle doesn't do it justice. I could go deeper there, but I don't see the point. There's another one about tarot. I'll just get very, very brief. Everyone starts somewhere. So the notion that we can only share tarot readings once we become masters at the craft is ridiculous. It's concerning that people at the beginning stages of their journey are accused of not knowing what they're doing, being fake and untrustworthy, when in reality they're simply learning and sharing an exciting new experience. Too many people target others without the foresight to read deeper into situations. Not everyone knows their gifts from birth. Many discover their connection to Source later in life, through a spiritual awakening. Once we receive signs and synchronicities, evidence of Spirit's participation in our lives, it stands to reason that we can communicate with them through divination to gain answers to questions we may have. There's a lot deeper, of course. The whole chapter goes into that there, and it's I'm not going to make this any long-winded than I have to. Like I said, there's an awful lot for me to still edit, but it makes sense for me to prioritize this because it's a weight off my shoulders when it's done. It's like you've done something this year, of substance. And until I do that, I'm always nagging at myself. And effectively, I just frustrate the life out of myself, never happy. So I'm not content. I'm in this limbo state where I don't want to do that. But then it's like, until you do it, until you get it done, you're not free. So kind of have to free myself by just getting it finished. And yet, then it's another string to the bow, if you like. So there's the one I want to do. I think it's this one. Wait a minute. So I'm not going to share the whole process of this, but I've quoted a bit of a video that I saw, and it's hard. Unfortunately, I can't credit the originator. I've done it as best I can from where I saw the content, but I don't actually know who the original person is. So unfortunately, I can't credit them directly. But I think when you consider the path I'm going on with the book, and it was important I include this, So I'll do it. Like I said, I'm going to do a segment, and then we'll leave it be, because again, I've still got so much work to do, and the way I'm going to end up moving some chapters around as well, because I'm not happy with the way the first chapter is. I think something else should go there. But anyway, that's a whole process for me to figure out. A video I saw validated everything I wrote in Losing Your Mind to Find Your Soul regarding our conception, purpose, and the meaning of life, as well as the afterlife. Witnessing someone recounting their near-death experience reignited my faith, making me focus and prioritize my commitment to healing and helping humanity even more than I've been doing before. There's nothing more meaningful in life. Oh, I've even mentioned it here. I didn't realize. Okay. So unfortunately, I can't attribute and cite an accurate reference. As I watched the video, man dies and meets guardian angels in heaven from a generic TikTok account. And I tagged the account. However, the person telling their story seemed sincere and genuine. I'm confident the universe sends me everything needed for my journey and expansion. I'm sure most of my thoughts and opinions are divinely given rather than mere thoughts. The video validated and confirmed that I had accurately interpreted their messages and guidance and was on the correct path, as also confirmed by videos signifying progress and impending success. Video transcripts from someone recounting a near-death experience. Now again, this is the person now, this isn't me. I physically remember hearing myself taking my last breath. I left my body to this beautiful fluorescent glowing mist hovering over my body, looking down upon myself. When I recognized that the body wasn't alive anymore, the beam came from behind me, bright, lit up everything underneath me, and it drew me right into the gateway. This beautiful tunnel was made up of magnificent color. Now I'm starting to move, but I'm feeling this amazing feeling. I have a feeling like I never had before. Love. The love was so incredible that you become the love. Now you're in this light, you're part of this light, and I'm moving at what seems to me like the speed of light, no debris, no nothing, just light, beautiful colors whizzing by me, going through me, and this love is growing stronger and stronger. By the time I got to my destination, I remember distinctly saying, I'm home, I'm finally home. I remember hearing a soft voice speak to me, and she said, yes, Bill, you're home in the light of God. I'll get goosebumps, by the way. I'm just going to reference that. And then she says, my name is Antonia. I'm one of your guardians. And now I'm being greeted by spirits all around me, family, friends. I remember mingling, talking, and feeling love from everybody. I recognized them. They recognized me. Everything is done through telepathy. There are no mouths or bodies now. You just there as beams of light. I'm still a mist at this time. After what seemed like a few minutes had passed by, I heard this voice, "Hello, Billy." When I heard that voice, that was my brother's voice. My brother Peter was about 16 years older than me. My brother was around with me all the time when I was growing up, teaching me to play ball, taking me to my ball games when I was in baseball league and everything. He was just a wonderful, wonderful brother. Then it came out of nowhere. He wound up having liver cancer, and they told him he was going to have 4 or 5 months to live, and that devastated me. Now I'm sure I know my brother's voice when he said, "Hello, Billy." By this time, everybody was calling me Billy in life. I was in my 40s, but I was Billy to him. And he said, "Hello, Billy." And I turned around and said, "Peter." The embrace was almost inexplainable. It was like you was part of them and they were part of you. Then he explained to me that he had to take me now and we were going for something. And I said, "What?" He says, "We're going to your life review." Now, it goes deeper than that, of course. It's pretty cool. I don't know what ones we've just done now, unfortunately. So within the book, and just like I did with my previous book, I include some tarot readings that come up on my timelines, and it's almost like an extra validation. But I think it just shows the journey, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show people the journey. Like other people will receive signs in a similar way that I do. You get it directly from source spirit through your own divination, through your own mind, everything and anything. But sometimes you're going to get content that just keeps coming to you like waves. It's not just going to, you're not going to see it once. You're going to see it over and over and over again. And a lot of time it's just stuff you need to know, or it's something maybe you're thinking about. You don't know the answer. You haven't said it out loud to anyone. So there's no way like devices are picking it up. There's nothing you can manipulate in that sense. And yet the information keeps coming. Makes sense of that. So I've shared some here. This is like, I'm going to do this bit a little bit. It's further through the chapter. Again, I've got so much to edit. People might notice here that I'm referencing things, and you might think, well, a lot of that is not your content. Then it's not the point. It validates certain parts, but of course, that's only going to be a very, very. Although it looks a lot now, that's a very small, minor part of the whole book. It's just most of it is me. The huge section's me. It's just that these little things are good additions, because I think it's important to have other people's perspectives on things. It's not just me saying the spiritual journey exists here. I'm showing that other people are having these experiences. And of course, sometimes it's them giving you information. They're not even knowing they're talking to you directly, but it resonates wonderful, Let's start towards the end of this. It's interesting because I keep seeing at this like 3 of Cups in the reverse. Like I really feel like you guys are you're meant to be a very big healer, but it influenced in a really positive way, because I'm hearing a lot of people who are maybe putting up with toxic relationship. It's not necessarily that you are a life coach, but people see you as like an angel. When people talk to you, when they see you, when they see your story, they change their lives in a positive way. Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps like crazy. It's not even like you're telling someone to change your life. Maybe some of you guys are in that role. They're just seeing what you went through to like, no, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to put up with this toxic boss. I'm going to speak my mind. Like you teach people to speak their mind. You teach people to look for other resources so they don't have to stay in situations that are toxic. They don't have to put up with him. I'm hearing something about toxic friends. Okay, they're saying there's something definitely toxic with friends, toxic environments here. Basically, I'm hearing there is a coaching energy here. It's like after people encounter you, after they see whatever you do for work and hear their story, you literally change people's lives. I'm getting like an Oprah effect, but like a different one. This is bigger than Oprah. Yeah, why not? Okay. Like this is different. I'm hearing it's even bigger than Oprah because of fairness. Like you don't give a superiority energy. Even with your success, you give an energy like anyone can be successful. Some of you guys have also conquered manifestation, or you just know a lot about energy. You know a lot about spirituality, faith, manifestation, and whatever your faith is. So like you're not only telling people, like you're showing them. You're an artist with people, and you're also an artist with how you get there. And there definitely is a spiritual element because obviously this is a tarot reading, but there is a spiritual influence here. There is a sense that you have broken out of limiting beliefs, mental and spiritual blocks on a mental level, clearing, cleansing, meditative work. There's deep healing work or prayer work here, which is why you're coming into alignment with the success. You're going to be very, very real with people with how this happens. And again, there's literally shifting consciousness. You shift people's consciousness. Like you're about to be blessed because other than your blessings for what you do, let me tell you, you're acting like the angel that you are. Spirit is going to give you the life of an angel, heaven on earth. Okay, blessed, blessed. Thank you for being here. This is cool. I really love this collective. I'm telling you, Two of Cups in reverse. Like people are just going to straight up get some type of confidence. I believe they'd be healed just by talking to you. Whatever toxicity that they were putting up with. Like you literally give people the gift. With all the gifts to give people, or just literally just by existing, you give people the gift of courage and faith. Okay, Ace of Cups, oh my God, your life is going to just be love. Like I'm hearing gratitude for you. So what I do when I quote is I obviously I try to enhance the grammar and try and remove some repetitions, but I really want to keep it as raw as I can. So the way they speak sometimes is it's not how I would type, it's not how I would talk, and there is a discrepancy within that. But then I think it's important because it's authentic, it's their voice, not mine. So there is that, and of course, like I just said, I've got so many chapters to edit. Yeah, I've still got a lot of work to do. It's going to be over a month's worth of work. So I'm setting a time frame now to the end, like probably end of July. I think that's fair, in all honesty, because it gives me a little bit extra wiggle room. I don't want to go through summer, to be honest, because I'm going to lose some summer anyway, busy. And then obviously, if I don't get it done if it's not done by the end of summer, we're then going into the autumn, and I don't want all that. So let's try and get it done for the end of July. And then we'll see where it's at. I'm confident in it. Yeah, and I'm sure it'll help people. In the same way, I'm sure all my other books will help people. It's just they haven't had the audience yet. I can't force an audience. But yeah, it's exciting in a sense that once it's done, I can be proud of it and read it myself. It's a nice place to be, you know. Yeah. Anyway, making progress. Like I said, I thought it was really important just to get a cover done, and it was always going to be different to the other covers. And like I'm gonna I'll share before we finish here. I'll share because I had a different title in mind for this book, and I literally I wasn't sure, so I was asking through tarot, and it was like no, and I was like, what the hell? Like, if I meditate, will I get answers? And it was like yes. So I was like, so I meditated, cleared my mind, went into total Zen, and then I asked a simple question: what should I call? What should I title the book? And it was A Star Is Born. Literally, just it came to me. And I was like, wow, like that's clear. So then I asked Tarot, am I right in saying this? And it was like, yes. So that's how we've come with the title. I recognise there's a film with the same name, and I was like, I was like, are you sure? That's why I thought straight away, like, are you sure? Like this doesn't make sense. Like there's already films and stuff. It's not good to cross over with similar titles, but it's what they wanted. So to be honest, I think with that title, with that name, it wasn't easy to come up with cover design. I was like, oh, this is tricky. Plus, it doesn't really follow on with the other titles. But I think I've done well with the option here. And I like the colour and whatnot. So I think, yeah. Anyway, that's going to release hopefully by the end of July. It's just going to be quite. As long as I do like a chapter a day, edit a chapter a day, it's fine. And once I make progress, I'll probably start doing more. But at the moment, it's really a grind for me at the moment, just because I've put a lot of work in over the years, you know. That's what it is. It's not a case of I don't believe in my work. I'm just tired of doing it, if I'm honest. It's like I've done 6 books. I haven't seen success yet. This is now a 7th book and it's 7th year. And it's just pushed me a bit hard. I think I've reached the point where it's exhausting because you haven't seen progress from it. And I do all the videos I do as well, you know. So it's just like, it's been a heavy 7 years of life for me personally, with like so much sacrifice and so, like, I would say so little reward, but I would say no reward apart from personal growth. But in terms of like tangible reward, doing nothing. So it is demoralizing, you know. It's a heavy weight all the time. There's so much pressure, and I just start thinking it's unnecessary pressure, you know. So I'm looking forward to the day when I don't have to work so hard, because this is just getting a bit much. But if it's going to help people, it's the sacrifice you make, you know. Anyway, hopefully that's been of interest to people.